Hi, and welcome to this latest immigration law update video. In this video, I want to look at the new Hong Kong British National Overseas Visa, which has been announced by the Home Office and is going to come on stream from January 2021. Now, we don't yet have the immigration rules, but what we have is the July 2020 policy statement and an updated policy page on the Home Office website. So I'm going to go through those with you now, and I'll put the links below this video. As with any of my videos looking at Home Office policy announcements, do check the Home Office website for any new updates which change the information in the video. I'm recording this as of the 5th of October 2020. So here's the policy statement. Look at my cursor, July 2020, CP280. And at the start, we have a forward by the Home Secretary, Priti Patel. This goes through the background to the unique position of BNOs in Hong Kong and the whole origin of BNO status. And then she says this is a specific offer and is not a precedent. So this is a particular response to a situation which these BNOs find themselves in. And she says it's a very generous offer. She's not imposing any skills test or minimum income requirements, economic needs test, or caps on number. And there's an opportunity to acquire full British citizenship. There does not need to be a job before coming to the United Kingdom, and immediate dependents, including non-BNO citizens, can apply. At the same time, it's not an unconditional offer. They'll need to be able to support themselves while living in the United Kingdom, meet strict criminality standards and stay of good character, need to pay the visa fees and the IHS, and obviously when they apply for settlement, they'll need to pay the fee and meet the criteria. This is planning to be open from January 2021. You need to be a BNO citizen or dependent, but the BNO citizen doesn't need to hold a valid BNO passport. They can use their expired one, or the Home Office will search their records. Normally, dependent children have to be under 18, but where they're part of a family unit and they're over 18 and still dependent, where there's compelling, compassionate circumstances, discretion can be exercised. If this doesn't apply to you, you might be able to apply under the Youth Mobility Scheme. If you're between 18 and 30, there's 1,000 places available, or under the new points-based system. So there's the contents of what's in this policy document. And then there's an overview and goes through the creation of BNO status at the time of the declaration and the handover. There were approximately 3.4 million people who obtained BNO status. And with the passage of time, there are maybe 2.9 million BNO citizens still alive. BNO status is not passed to children, but you'll see with dependents, this visa could affect a lot of people. So if you're a solicitor or an advisor watching this video, this is something important to know about, because it's going to open up something to a lot of people. So at the moment, BNO citizens hold a British passport, can get consular assistance, and entitled to visit the United Kingdom visa-free for up to 6 months. Otherwise, they're subject to immigration control and do not have a right of abode. But this will give them an opportunity to apply for a visa on a path to settlement and ultimately full British citizenship. The visa is going to be valid for 5 years. After 5 years, they can apply. They've stayed free from criminality and can support themselves and complied with the visa for settled status. After a further year, may be able to naturalize then as a British citizen, and obviously need to pay the fees at each and every stage. In order to qualify for settled statement, obviously, you've got to be continuously resident in the UK, and there's absences permitted of up to 180 days in any 12-month period. And obviously, you can lose settled status if you're out of the UK for in excess of 2 years. If you don't apply for settled status or refuse settled status, you'll be expected to leave and you may be removed. So it's not something that can be then extended beyond the 5 years at the moment. as these things stand. Access to the NHS because you've paid the immigration health surcharge, and children will be able to access education. Otherwise, there's no access to public funds. So let's look at the eligibility. First, BNOs can apply along with their immediate family members, that is spouse or partner, and children under 18. Dependents need not have a BNO status themselves to be eligible. Dependent grandparents or other relatives will not be eligible if they're not BNO citizens in their own right. But then there is this discretion, you'll see in this paragraph, for children who are part of the family unit who are over 18, and discretion can be used when compelling and compassionate circumstances. And notice there's this wider discretion for other family members who are in circumstances of high dependency, and there may be discretion to grant them a visa on a case-by-case basis. Then otherwise you're stuck on the youth mobility scheme to apply, or under the new points-based system. So what do you need to do? Well, ordinary resident in Hong Kong, that includes those resident in the UK at the moment who are ordinary resident in Hong Kong. And look at the low level of this threshold. Demonstrate the ability to accommodate and support themselves in the UK for at least 6 months. Demonstrate a commitment to learn English in the UK where appropriate on entry. There will be no English language requirement, but applicants will require a good knowledge of English language if they choose later to make an application for settled status after 5 years. Hold a current TB certificate, pay the visa fee in the IHS, and don't be a naughty boy or girl, so criminal convictions, conduct not conducive to the public good. And they set out here the fees at the moment for settlement ILR and for citizenship. In terms of the visa itself, leave to remain will be granted for 5 years. You've got two options. You can apply for 30 months followed by another 30 months, or you can apply for the initial 5 years straight away by paying a higher fee and the immigration surcharge for the duration. So that's a higher fee at the start, but it's likely, as this says, to be more cost effective overall. So after 5 years, you can apply for settlement, 12 months thereafter, then apply for citizenship, no recourse to public funds, right to work, access education, access healthcare because you've paid the IHS. Following the EU settlement scheme, this is going to be a digital online application process. As I said, you don't need to hold a current BNO passport, but you can use your expired BNO passport. And if you've lost it or haven't got it, they'll do historical records check. You can make the application from Hong Kong within the UK or elsewhere. Biometrics will be needed, and notice it's a digital visa. It's being introduced from January 2021. You can switch from the UK from your current visa into this visa if you qualify. So actually it may prove a quicker path to settlement by switching in to this visa. They recognize that people may arrive prior to that because of the particular circumstances these people find themselves in, and may need to apply for leave outside of the rules at the border. And there's provisions for doing that. So if you arrive before January 2021, you can get 6 months leave to remain outside of the rules. Now that's actually something, because this is the end of the document and you get the customer journey at the end, but let's switch over to the policy document, because this is something that's covered more in this policy document about this leave to remain outside of the rules. And we can see actually people in the UK can apply for that. So the version I'm looking at was updated on the 22nd of September 2020. I'll say it again, check for updates, because things obviously are updated very regularly and we don't have the rules yet. We've got the related content that'll give you the links which will help. So here's the summary. Hong Kong BNO visa from January 2021. You can apply from inside or outside the UK, 30 months, or a straight 5 years. Settlement after 5 years, then British citizenship. Here's the requirement that we've gone through already. The current status of a BNO is you can apply, or you can come in, sorry, as a visitor for up to 6 months without a visa. Now, entering the UK before the Hong Kong BNO visa is available. If you're not eligible to enter the UK under an existing immigration route, border force officers may be able to consider granting leave outside the rules at the UK border for a period of 6 months to you and your accompanying dependents. You can then apply for the Hong Kong BNO visa when it's available. So this is what you'll need to show in order to get the leave outside of the immigration rules. So I'm not going to go through that, but do check through this policy document in case you're advising somebody in relation to this leave outside the immigration rules. What happens if you're already in the United Kingdom? If you're already in the UK, you can apply for the Hong Kong BNO visa from within the UK when it opens for applications from January 2021. You can also apply from within the UK if you were granted leave outside of the rules at the border when you arrive. So what do you do if your existing immigration leave expires before January 2021 and you want to stay in the UK before applying for this new Hong Kong BNO visa? A number of options: extend your existing leave, switch into another immigration route, leave and re-enter applying for leave outside the rules at the border, or you can apply, as I've said, for leave outside of the rules from within the UK for up to 6 months. And again, here's the provisions for applying for leave outside the rules from within the UK, and it's all set out there within the policy document. So obviously, the new route opens in January 2021. We'll get the new rules in due course, but notice this as to those who need to apply before that time for leave to remain outside of the immigration rules. I hope this is helpful to you. Obviously, this is an important category which may affect a lot of people, and I think there'll be quite a high demand for this visa. So it's worth getting familiar with these provisions. So thanks a lot.